It's Girl Code.
Alright, welcome back to Girl Code, where we discuss everything and anything. Today we'll be talking about people pleasing, and I'm Liz. Today we have...
Hi, I'm Dinah.
Hi, I'm Denise.
And hello, I'm Abby.
Yeah, so do you guys think that you guys are people pleaser? Or do you know what's the definition of it?
Come tell us what a people pleaser is.
Okay, so basically it's someone who feels a strong urge to please others, often at their own expense, where you feel like your boundaries are being pushed, but somehow you still compromise. So do you guys think you guys are?
Definitely not.
Why are you so sure?
Because I really don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you so you don't find a issue rejecting people?
No. Okay, it depends actually on what the circumstance is like. Most of the time, it aligns with like if people are unreasonable, then I wouldn't give in. But
Right.
if people like, oh, they're nice, then yeah, sure, why not?
Mm-hmm,
But it's not like people pleasing. It's more like I want to do it. Yeah.
right. Then like, do people react well when you reject them, or you don't really care also?
I tend to give like an explanation why I cannot make it or whatever
okay.
it is, you know. But I think when it comes to people pleasing, it says here that to please others at your own expense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think I wouldn't do it at my own expense, especially
Right.
for example for like values or like something that you don't believe in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Actually, I think it's really rare because majority of the people I know tend to people please. But Diana is like a definite no. Like I can tell from the first day I met her. So it's really cool. Is it like your entire family is like that?
I don't know.
You think?
Actually, maybe they're very strong-minded people. I think. Yeah.
Cool.
How about you
about
guys?
you,
Cool.
Denise?
I think I am. I think I definitely am. I find it very difficult to say no to my friends, to my family, when they ask for help. So even if I feel a bit uncomfortable, I'll still go out of my way to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you have
whatever
like
it is.
Do you have like a scenario where you feel like you're really compromising yourself and it makes you feel like you need to stop? Like people
No,
pleasing.
So far, no.
So far, no lah.
So far, no. In different contexts, lah. So I
Right.
teach, right? So in class, I'm not really a people pleaser. I'm quite stern.
Firm.
Yeah, I really put down my feet, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say no. But outside of class, I think not really that. No. So far, I haven't experienced something that makes me feel like, oh no, I cannot do this.
Right, but so you just say okay to most of the requests.
Mostly, really mostly.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But do you feel like your boundaries are being compromised?
No leh.
Sometimes.
I don't. Okay, I think I haven't been put into such an extreme situation,
Right.
right? But if I think about something on a more shallow level, it will be things like, let's say the next day I have a very early day,
Yeah.
but my friends want to spend time today.
Ah.
And I know we will go very late into the night. I'll
Right.
still do it. For me, I'm like, okay, we don't really get to spend so much time together, so I don't
Right.
mind.
So you weigh like the importance level, but so far you're okay with it.
Yeah, so far I'm okay.
Oh,
with
okay,
it.
okay. Then so basically you realize that you're a people pleaser, but so far it doesn't really affect your life yet.
Yeah, yeah. Haven't
Okay.
been put into a situation where I feel like there's something very wrong here.
Okay. Interesting. How about you,
That's
Abby?
cool. Me, I
Yeah.
think, okay, I used to be a chronic people pleaser, I think, back
Whoa,
in
chronic,
school.
cool,
Back in
okay.
school. Because I never really fit in anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I was kind of like going with the flow a lot and kind of figuring out my own individuality or so.
Mhm.
But I always had like, I mean, I did grow up with values and rules. So I did like people please within those boundaries lah.
Right.
But chronic in a sense that I took on a lot. For example, I think I shared previously that I was like class monitor, bus monitor, prefect, you know, all at once.
you shared that.
That was me being a chronic people pleaser. Like I
Right.
had to just agree to every single task that I was given, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But I was so tired.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things on your plate,
Yeah.
right?
Was it to actually like fit in, or why
yeah.
do you do it?
I think I didn't want to like disappoint anyone. So when like teachers kept saying like, oh, can you do this for us? Can you do this? Can you do this on National Day? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But sometimes I really just didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you start to change, or you're still like that?
Yeah, definitely started
Oh,
change.
nice. When though? Like, what's the trigger point?
I I think after a while you realize that a lot of it is just not realistic. Like you can't always meet everybody's expectations.
Right.
But yeah, like it was good that I went through that phase so that I know better how to say no later on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually have the same experience, but for me, I always say sorry even when it's not my fault. Like, I tend to do that. Like, even if it's the other person's fault, right, I'll say sorry. So, for example, my first ever boyfriend, I was actually cheated on, and
And you said sorry.
Yes, and he cheated on me with my dance friend.
Oh my
goodness. So
goodness.
it's like a friend situation, right? And then at that time, I was just thinking, okay, if I'm good enough, he wouldn't have cheated on me. So I actually apologized to both of them, and I wish them all the best. Yeah, like
Apologize to the girlfriend.
both. The entire situation was really messy. Like, she also kept saying that she deserved him more and things like that, right?
She said that she deserved him more.
Yeah.
So you say, I'm sorry that I took him from you?
I'm sorry that we're in this situation right now. And then, and I just want everyone to be happy. Yeah, I genuinely, I think I texted them, like both of them, and then I'm like, I just apologized. I can't remember when, but that was like more than a decade ago.
Wow.
So it's really extreme, like my people-pleasing tendency.
Maybe you haven't grown up, like your mentality is still like...
I don't know, I just want everyone to be happy. Actually, until today, I still want that mentality.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want everyone to be happy, that's all. Like, you know?
Yeah.
She's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's nice.
I don't know, man. At that point, you're being trampled on it.
Yeah.
Like, but you were genuinely hurt, but you still said
I was
sorry.
so hurt.
Oh no!
My
Okay,
God.
now that's bad,
Drop names, faster.
Oh, guy. I realized that I kept saying sorry for things that I shouldn't even be sorry for, and then people just kept pushing my boundaries. So like, yeah, that was like a trigger point for me to change. Yeah, and for me the hardest was my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, how about you guys? Like for people pleasing. Just now Diana shared also privately.
For
Family.
me, I
Yeah.
think when it comes to people pleasing, it depends on who it is. If it's someone close to you, I don't mind going out of my way to like help them or whatever. Especially when it comes to your parents, your family, you know, you don't really have like much time with them or whatever. I feel it's very scarce resource, I think, time. So you have to choose who you're gonna say yes to and who you're gonna say no to.
Yeah.
For like my family, I will always say yes to them. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think that's people pleasing, I think.
Yeah, I
People
don't think
pleasing is
so.
when you go out of your way.
Yeah. But you feel like they're worth it. So
Oh yeah,
it's fine,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, but it's super interesting because usually people only realize that they are people pleasers when they're much older. But Diana,
Yeah.
from the start, she's like absolute no.
No, I don't
It's
think
so
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah. But do you find it hardest to say no to your mom or your parents?
Yes, I think the closer they are to you, it's harder for you to say no to them. But you should prioritize what you have to do.
Yeah.
Right?
for
Like if,
sure.
for example, you have something coming up that is very, very important. I know I should spend time with my mom or like my dad, but I'll tell them, oh, let's reschedule this to like maybe this Sunday or whatever. Yeah. Like I don't tend to say no to them. I just tell them, oh, okay, can we do it another day? Instead of just flat out say no. You know, the problem with it is that most people will just say no and then don't follow up with it.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to following up, then it should be fine.
Yeah, as long as there's a certain level of accountability, I think it's fine. Right. But I feel like for people who are married, it's a bit like more tricky. Like for me and Denise, because we have in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to say no to your in-laws, Denise? A bit, right? Because like there's like you have to, like if you care about your partner a lot, then their parents' request, generally you wouldn't say no.
Yeah, but I think I'm very lucky. My in-laws are very, very nice people. So they don't generally ask us to do things that they know that I'll feel uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm in a very lucky situation.
Wait till you have a kid.
Oh my gosh, how do you say no?
Another thing.
How do you say no to your kid?
Oh, no, I mean like, okay, say if you have a kid, right, and then your in-laws really want to be involved in taking care of your kid, it's another thing, They will ask you to do like many, many strange things. But thank God my in-law is fine, lah. They are quite hands-off.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it like taking all those traditional medicines and everything?
Yeah, like confinement and, sorry, I just didn't want to scare you like that. But Yeah, but it's just another thing I feel. Yeah, but for Denise, I would assume that it's very hard to say no to your kids, but you say no, like your students.
No, that one I find it very easy.
Why?
No, because if you don't say no, they will step
on
all
your
over
head.
you, right? Then they'll really misbehave. So I remember last year there was a period of time where I first started teaching, right? And I wasn't that strict yet. So they were very naughty. And then they shout so loud until the security guard came.
Oh my gosh.
And then my neighbours complained. They were like,
no.
they're screaming kids, 14-year-old kids, right? Scream very loud because we have competition in class.
Oh.
And then they're very excited.
Yeah.
Just scream so loud. So now, like, you need to have control of the class. I think maybe it was career-wise that made me kind of like start becoming more comfortable with saying, hey, you cannot do this.
Was
Keep
it
quiet.
difficult to like start the change?
No lah, not really. I mean, when the security guard come, you have no choice really. Like, keep quiet, please. Yeah.
Right. Do they do they use profanities? Just curious.
They do.
Right. How
So
do you
it's
deal with
difficult, right? Because in a class, people are brought up in very different ways. So some students are more comfortable with use of such strong language versus others. And then I always need to remind them that we must be sensitive to everyone's needs, right? So I will tell them to stop it. But they
do
will not. They will
listen?
not. They will not. So it keeps going on. And then I'll tell them, I'll become increasingly strict. So at first I'll just jokingly say, hey, don't do that. There are other people in the class. And then they'll keep repeating it over and over and over again. It's like they're also trying to push your buttons to see how far they can go. And then I'll tell them, hey, stop it. And the moment I do that, they'll know I'm serious already.
We'd like to see that side of Denise, right?
We've never seen that side of Denise actually. She's all like so
Wow.
nice.
The 老师 side.
All right. So another sign of people pleasing, right, is basically changing your personality depending on who's around you. Who does that?
I don't.
I do.
Personality or like, or the way you speak.
Both.
Because sometimes I do change the way I speak a little bit, just because people don't understand sometimes when you sound too Singaporean. I don't know, like
okay,
you know,
okay. I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, I do that too.
like then they'll just keep like, huh? What do you say? And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll speak with my mouth a little bit more open this time. You know, like just something like that. But behavior, maybe no.
Right.
I tend to let my guard down when I'm around the people I'm close with. Like,
Yeah.
and like for example, I'm talking to you guys, I'm like chill. But if I'm like ready for a meeting, my guard's up, man. I'm ready to like fight.
Yeah, I
it's
get
that
it.
kind of personality, not much of like a people pleaser kind. Yeah, no.
Actually, I have a funny story about the
code switching thing.
Yeah,
What?
because
What?
no, so I have this white. I digress a bit. You want to cut in, it's fine. You want to cut out, it's fine. So no, I have this white friend, right? That usually when I talk to him, right, I will have a bit of accent. If not, he wouldn't understand what I'm trying to say. So there was once we got into an argument. And my Singlish just started coming out.
So
This
cute.
gets
so
to an
angry.
argument.
I was just so angry that I like started to like have la and all in my sentences. Then
Does
he
he
was like,
understand?
"What are you talking about?" And I started laughing. Okay, end of story.
Yeah, that
Anyways, yeah. So I do change my behavior and attitude and personality. Like for example, if I go into a friend's house and they are a bit OCD, right, I'll start to be super careful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll start to like okay, like I'll think a lot. Yeah, because I don't want to offend them.
I think that's being very considerate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, when I think about it, people pleasing isn't that bad unless like the people you're mingling around does not have good intentions.
Yeah, I agree.
For example, I think when you're in a secondary school or something, right? It is hard for you to say no. And then, for example, if you're like mingling with like the kids who smoke or who I don't know beat up people, maybe I don't know what they do. But how do you say no to that? Like
Oh,
when
like
you
peer
want to
pressure.
fit in
Yeah.
into like the cool kids, for example, but then you don't want to smoke because you know it's wrong. Your parents will like beat you up or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also you want to fit in.
Yeah,
That
oh my
that is more of like the problem I find.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. That's so true.
Actually, I find that guys would feel more pressured because I don't know, when guys among their friends they'll be like, oh, you how do I say it in a nicer word?
Oh, what you want to say?
You pussy.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Oh, okay. Like, basically, they start to call you names lah.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
pick on
yeah.
you.
They pick on you and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I don't know
You're
how
a
to say
loser.
it.
Yeah.
You're a loser. How
That
do
is
you
an
do that?
issue, and I just thought of another issue, which is like for couples, like people who are younger, like probably in like sec 1 or sec 2 or even primary school. Say like you have a boyfriend, right, and say he wants to do like things that are more and M18. How do you say no if you want to? If you are a people pleaser, I think it's quite hard.
Yeah.
Also, right?
Or like if you're dating someone who's like older, for example, you're like
Yeah.
in secondary school and I don't know, your boyfriend's a bit older.
Yeah.
Then it might be illegal for you. But
Yeah.
legal
But like
for
it's,
the guy.
sometimes it's really
No,
hard
it's still
to say
illegal.
no,
Never
right?
mind.
No, the legal age is 16 if I'm not wrong.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, but yeah.
But I think I've heard like my classmates having a tough time saying no to their partner then, and then I didn't know how to advise them because I was also really young. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is. So as big
That's
sisters,
like
what would you
molest
say?
and rape already.
But somehow it's kind of like consent, right?
No.
Like the
It's
like
not.
it's hard to say no. Like my friend at that point of time, it's really hard for her to say no.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you are her big sister, what do you tell her?
I'll beat the guy up.
Really?
No, I think if it was like my younger sister or something, just ask what do you want out of this relationship and maybe communicate better.
Yeah.
So, for example, you don't want to do it and then your boyfriend wants to do it, right? And then just say, hey, since you're uncomfortable with it, why don't you talk to him? Maybe let's give us some more time so that we're more comfortable with each other. And when I'm ready, I'll tell you. And if the person is a good guy,
Yeah.
he'll wait, man. Like, that's just basic. Yeah. If not, do you really want to be with someone who is forcing himself on you, on like the things that or the decisions that the both of you have to make
Yeah.
at the end of the day?
I think sometimes it's really good to test a person's character once you have established your boundaries.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Then you can see how the person react. If the person doesn't respect your boundaries, it's probably a red flag. Yeah. So it's still good to voice out your opinion.
You want to be with someone who is like a teammate, man. Like someone who is your friend as well, you know, not be bullied.
Yeah.
Mm.
So another sign of people pleasing is putting our worth. So basically our worth is dependent on how others see you. Do you guys have this issue?
Say it again.
Like basically your worth is very dependent on how others view you.
And validation.
Yeah, validation, praises. Do you have this issue?
I think you're on social media. There's bound to be like a little of something down
The
there,
amount of likes
right?
and
Yeah. But but I think because we've been here for long, we also realize that okay, maybe this is not who we are. We establish who we are. Yeah. Do you feel any validation or like
I think I used to,
you used to?
especially when I was working.
Really?
Before I started my own business, I was working at a very big firm.
Okay.
And then for me, it was very important for recognition.
Okay.
Right, I felt that with the recognition, it was kind of a testament to the quality of the work that I was delivering. I'm not really sure what changed. Somewhere along
but
the way.
that's so true though. We forget to think about like the workplace, like
Yeah.
politics and everything
You
as well,
climb the
right?
ladder.
Yeah. So recognition is very, very important for sure.
But is it from your direct higher up?
Yes,
or-
yes. Like praises from your manager or
Right.
someone even higher up.
How about colleagues?
I don't really
Not
care.
really.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually it's the higher ups.
Yeah.
Promotions, how about that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
a
you
form
need to
validation.
impress your managers in order to secure the promotion, right? So for me, at that point in time when I first joined the rat race, I think climbing the corporate ladder was very important. For me, I had like this goal, like how many years I need to be where, right? So when I wasn't going fast enough, then I started to really crave that kind of a recognition. Like, what else do I need to do? I would really go out to my manager and say, what do I need to do? Because this is not what I want now.
Okay.
Oh, but you will voice out like your expectations as well.
Yes, I would.
Oh,
I
that's
would.
good.
Yeah.
But imagine like those people who don't really voice out. They're very
Yeah.
timid. Then yeah.
But like, what makes you want to leave?
I started teaching. Then I realized, I love this a lot.
Oh, nice.
So then I decided to leave. Yeah. So I was moonlighting.
Oh, damn. Out. Cool. Okay.
So happy for you.
Yeah. How about Abby?
Yes. Yeah, when I was yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, especially in school, I'm taking on so many tasks and all. Of course, it's because like all the praises from teachers and stuff. Like, I thought that was really important. Like back then, I felt like that was very important.
Oh, you do? You do?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, what?
What if it's like your love language, words of affection?
Oh yeah, maybe.
But it's not a actually the test.
No.
It's not words of affirmation. I just felt like that validation made all those difficulties like
More worthwhile.
more worthwhile, I would say. Yeah.
But no more. Like you don't crave for validations, praises anymore.
I mean, from loved ones, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Do you guys give your loved ones or like the people working for you like affirmations or like
I do because
do.
I feel
I
like
do
it's important.
also a lot.
really? What do you
Yeah.
say generally?
Like I'll tell them that they're doing such a good job like in class. I'll be like, I'm very proud of you. You improved so much. Conceptually, you're very strong. Like things like that.
I think that's it. I think it matters a lot because, like, for Denise, I'm sure her students look up to her. So when she gives this kind of validation, you know, this kind of words of affirmation, it actually builds
Yeah.
their confidence
For
a lot.
sure.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's because I did look up to my teachers as well. So when those, you know, words of validation all came in, I felt really confident.
Yeah. I feel like what Diana said was right. It really depends on the source because if the person have good intentions for you, craving validation from them is not that bad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, words are meant to build people anyway.
Just
Yeah.
don't gaslight them. You must know the
Some
difference.
people just gaslight
Yeah,
them.
just gaslight. You must. I think you must be aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time, people pleasers, be careful.
I feel like people pleasers gaslight themselves all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's like we're our own gaslighters.
Like, nobody gaslight us, but we gaslight ourselves. It's all my fault.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that.
So actually, since we are talking about people pleasing, there's obviously pros and cons to it, right? The pros is that like we can resolve everything and move on, like what Abby spoke about, and the cons is that we compromise our own boundaries.
Yeah.
So why do you guys think you are people pleasers? Like everyone have their own reasons, right? And for Diana, why do you think that you are not? Like why do you not like be a people pleaser since young? What's your reason?
I think in the land of business, right? If you say yes to everything, people are gonna trample all over you.
Yeah.
And when you're not stern or strict, people are gonna be taking advantage. For example, maybe you're doing a negotiation for a deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how much, how many K. And then the other person will confirm and be like, oh, can it be cheaper, more discount, more this. If you're gonna be a people pleaser, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll give in to you.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna suffer, right?
Yeah.
But you have to like be stern. And then once you be stern, people are not gonna trample all over you. And they'll be like, okay, fine. This is the best that we can do, this is the best we can do, we'll figure
Right.
something out.
So you're okay to lose deals
yeah.
if they
you
are
have
too
to, man.
unreasonable. Okay.
Yes. If not, like sometimes how unreasonable they are, they're like they think everything is free. Yeah. So
Yeah, agree.
it's not doable for sure. Yeah.
How about you, Denise? Like, why do you think? Like
Pros?
Pros.
I don't like conflict. I think similar to you. I don't like to be in that kind of an uncomfortable situation.
Right.
So I'm generally okay to agree to it just to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like that for Abby as well,
Yes.
right? Me too, man. Yeah, I don't like to get into like conflict, arguments. Like, say if we are having a meet and greet and a fan wants to take photo with us, and then they'll like come up with all the weird requests, like, oh, can you stand here? And they start getting rude. How will y'all react? Diana will be a straight up no, right?
No, it depends on what they're doing though. What
No,
they're
like,
doing?
okay, there's this fan, right? They keep asking me to pose in a weird way.
What way?
Like, I don't know, like this. I don't know, you know?
that
Yeah, sometimes I'm so not comfortable with it, and I'm not wearing makeup, and I'm like, can we not do this? Like, another
okay.
time. You know?
Yeah.
How will you reject him?
Actually, I'm very okay. I may not be a people pleaser, but I am okay with doing crazy You know,
for real?
sorry, crazy stuff. So yeah, I would do it. I don't care. Even if I have no makeup on, I'm like, whatever, man. Yeah,
Bro,
I don't
you'll
mind.
just do it.
Yeah, I'll do
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
I would not want to do it, but I would just try to do it. But I won't be happy about it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
So you did it in the end.
I did it. Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Immortalized.
Forever, my goodness.
That's
Yeah. So like for people who for our listeners, for people who are chronic people pleasers, right? Do you guys have any advice for them?
Wow. You, Abby.
Me.
Have experience.
Okay. Advice. I think chronic people pleasers go through a lot of inner voices that
Yeah, for sure.
that has a lot of like things to do with guilt.
Why?
So,
Why are you
like
guilty
guilt
for?
of not meeting the
Yeah.
expectations, guilt of disappointment, guilt of like did I say something wrong? Because we don't like conflict. We don't really like negative things or vibes coming our way. So I think there's a lot of guilt. I think we need to constantly work our inner voices to not let this guilt take over how do I properly word this? Yeah, just stop wrapping yourself up in guilt. Like let it go.
Yeah, true.
The guilt carries a lot of weight. And then recently I saw this quote that guilt is a wasted emotion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like feeling guilty is just such a waste of your energy sometimes. Yeah, things happen. Do it the best you can.
Yeah.
What's guilt for?
Yeah, exactly. Because for me, I realized that I have to stop because sometimes I just say yes, but I really didn't want to do it, right? And it starts to, I feel like it's like eating my soul. Like, do you guys know what I mean? Like, say I don't want to leave the house, and my friends keep asking me to hang out, even if I didn't want to. I just like, oh, okay. And when I'm there, I just feel so unhappy.
Dude,
Yeah.
if I were to put myself in that situation, right, when I go back, I feel so drained.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys. But for example, right, okay, I tend to have this I'm quite introverted in a way. But if I go, for example, I want to go for an event, right? But I don't actually want to interact with people. Then when I'm there, I have to interact with people. When I come back, I feel so drained. Yeah. So
Bring a manager.
So definitely not a people pleaser. I tried it. No,
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. It's like it depletes me, man.
Then,
Oh.
like, yeah,
Oh,
sure,
you
go ahead.
mentioned advice, right? Okay, for me, how I actually did it was very simple. I painted myself a picture.
Okay.
So I painted my boundaries as a garden, right? We all have a garden.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Yeah, it's so easy to think about it this way. We have a garden. We each all have a garden, and it's our responsibility to take care of our garden, right? If we keep letting like little foxes and stuff like come into our boundaries and keep eating all our crops, then we have nothing left. Even if we want to give,
There's
we got
nothing
nothing to
left.
give. So we should always take care of this garden, take care of the boundaries that's protecting this garden, so that we have lots and lots to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Nice.
So
That's so
things-
cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. I think
Thought of
Denise
it
can
this
set it
way.
in her class.
The garden.
Yeah, and the frogs.
Foxes.
For me, it was to be very aware of how I feel. Like when I say yes to something, how do I really feel? I have to start questioning myself there. And then when I don't feel okay, I tried to take baby steps to say no, and I realized that it's not as scary as I thought it would be.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the person's reaction when they're like, "Oh, it's okay if you don't come," then I'm like, "Yeah, actually, it's not so scary."
I
Like,
think
it's
you
not
have.
that bad.
I think you have to get used to feeling uncomfortable in the first
Yeah.
place. Like first saying no, and then it'll be very very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you have to slowly accustom yourself to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think everyone should be getting used to the fact that not everyone wants to do the same thing
Yeah.
as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not be liked.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we keep wanting to, I don't know we, but me.
No guilt and
Yeah,
no's.
yeah. Like I was very caught up with the idea of people liking me. But now I'm more chill about it, especially after doing business, Like sometimes you just can't deliver and you have to say no. Yeah, so yeah, that's my advice. How about you, Denise?
I think, saying no. Last time, whenever I say no, I feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like I have to come up with a justification and a story and a reason. And now I think I remember what really changed was one day I told myself, why am I coming up with this whole essay to tell someone why I don't want to do this? I can just say no. I don't owe this person an explanation. And I think from there, it was just like a mindset change.
Yeah,
Like
I think as you grow older as well, right, you have a lot of things to do. So you have to prioritize your own time as well.
Sure.
Like when I was younger, I'm pretty sure I think we all tend to be more people pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that as well. It was at first I remember this feeling of like I can't say no, but then I don't know what changed. It's just like no, just no.
Something
Yeah,
drastic
something
might
just
happen.
like switch, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but for earlier when Denise mentioned about explaining yourself, how do you determine who is worth your explanation or not?
Oh, I don't know. No, I just say no lah. If I'm not comfortable with something, in general now, when I feel the need to reject someone, and it's not a business kind of a context. I mean, if it's a business kind of context, there needs to be explanation. But on a more personal level, I feel that for me to be able to reject someone, it's not something special. It's not something that requires me to really go and explain myself. And I think that if this person were that close to me, they will accept it. They don't need a whole explanation.
Yeah. Be more
How
understanding.
about for kids, like for students who haven't started doing business? Like what advice will you give them for them to determine who deserves an explanation or not?
Oh, that one is so difficult. Actually, I have this student, right? She has multiple extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So there was one day she came into class. She was absolutely exhausted. You could tell, right? Eye bags, everything. Very tired. She couldn't focus. So after class, I just asked her to stay around for a little bit because I wanted to chat with her and ask her how is she doing. And then she told me she only has like 15 minutes because she has to rush to another, I don't know, like some dance rehearsal or something.
Right.
And then as she was talking to me, and I asked her, so how are you coping? I just asked her this one question, how are you coping? And then she just started crying. It's like floodgates open, right? So I told her, oh, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to tell someone, hopefully your parents, that you cannot cope and you need to cut some things from your like list of responsibilities. She didn't. She told me that she couldn't tell her parents this because if she did that, they would cut like this class for her, but then eventually they would add on another class. So I feel that in that kind of a situation, what helped was then I approached the mom and I told the mom, actually, I don't think she's coping very well and this will affect her studies. So in this kind of a situation, if you find that maybe your parents or that person who is in a position of authority would not be receptive to this, it might help to speak to someone else to relay the message on your behalf.
Yeah. Go to Denise.
Yeah, exactly. But students who are having trouble coping with things can join her tuition class.
But it's very sad, right? When you see someone like that, you just ask them a
is,
question, how are you doing? Then they start crying because it's just so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like people don't get asked like how are you actually doing, like that too.
Oh yeah, I
often,
agree.
right? Sometimes like I feel that way too. Like don't ask
Yeah.
me when I'm going through a bad day.
Yeah.
I might break down also.
True. Like sometimes it's just like a small thing started from a bad day and then it just pile up and then you know you're ready to burst anytime.
How are you doing today, Diana?
I'm good today. How are you guys doing today?
Alright, so
crying,
I
Abby.
No, I'm good.
I think all in all, we have to learn to put ourselves first, to do things that makes us comfortable and build confidence for ourselves. So start with something small, like being able to voice out our own opinion, etc. So anything else to add, girls, before we end off this podcast? Alright.
Do whatever that makes you happy, man.
Yeah, I think that's so important, right?
Yeah, for sure.
While it's good to be helpful and kind to everyone around you, it's a good practice to create a balance between getting along with voicing your emotions and accommodating to others. Learn to validate your own feelings and emotions. They are important too. So we have come to the end of this podcast and we'll see you again. Bye!